Alright, this is our final video in the pegboard project. Today we are going to assemble the project. We're going to attach the handle to the mallet head and also make it to where our pegs will slide through their respective holes while the table itself does not move. Alright, to do this, I'm going to go to iPro and select New. And instead of being a standard part, we're going to come straight down underneath that to Standard Assembly, standard.iam. Alright, and it looks a little bit different than your normal window here. Well, actually, most of this down here looks the same. It's up here in this corner where instead of 2D sketch, you'll see place. Some of you may see place from Content Center or place component. Just hit that little arrow underneath the block in the folder and just select place. And what it's going to ask you is to import your parts. So I'm going to put the pegboard in first. So I say this pegboard 16. There it is. I'm going to click open. And now we get a front view of it right here. So if I click one time, it will place that piece down. And I can hit escape, turn that off. And before we move on, I want to make sure the pegboard doesn't slide around on us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the pegboard. And I'm going to come down here a little bit past halfway, about 2/3. You should see the word grounded. Much like when you're grounded at home, you can't go anywhere, you can't get on the phone or whatever. When you ground this object, it can't go anywhere. So click on grounded. And now you'll notice that we cannot move this. If you look over here in your browser, you'll see a little push pin through the block. That tells you that it is grounded. So let's go ahead and add the rest of the pieces we need. So let's go back up here to place. And we're going to place the square peg. Place that in here. Doesn't really matter where you place it. Place the round peg and the triangle peg. I have them in reverse alphabetical order. Triangle peg here. Alright, so before we place the legs on there, we're going to put these pieces in. Hit escape or right click and click OK. Alright, what we're going to do now is called a constraint. We're going to mate these things together. So if you click on constraint, you'll see you have 5 types of constraints. The only ones we're going to use in this class a lot are the mate and the insert. The playground will require the angle and the tangent, but it's only one time. So we're going to go to mate, which is our main constraint here. And what that's going to do is it's going to match 2 things up. So we're going to take the center line of the round peg, point to the center, and you'll get that line through there, that dotted and dashed line. Click it, and we're going to mate that to the center line of the circle. So make sure you get the dotted and dashed lines, and then you have to hit apply in order for it to take effect. So if you close this window out here, you should now be able to pull this peg straight up and down through the hole. You shouldn't be able to pull it to the left or to the right. It should just go straight up and down. Alright, we're going to do something similar to these two over here, except instead of one constraint with a center line, we're going to have to match faces. So constrain, we're going to leave everything defaulted. We're going to match this side of the triangle peg to this inside cutout right here. And we're going to hit apply. Now, we've got to match up either this side with the inside here or this face with the inside face here. I think it's easier than rotating this cube and zooming in and out if you close this window, pull the triangle peg all the way back out. Now, constrain the front face. We'll have to rotate our cube around to where we can see the front of the cutout and mate it with the front side of this cutout right here. Apply. Close the window, go back to my home view here, and notice I should be able to pull the triangle peg all the way through, but not to the left or right. It's matched up perfectly with those pieces, or with those faces. And finally, we're going to do the same thing with the square peg. So we're going to constrain this top face with the back face here. Okay. And then we could match up this and rotate the cube around. Zoom in right here, or you can do what you did in the last one, close this out, pull it out right here, constrain, match up this face right here with this face right here, apply, and there we didn't have to do any rotations. We'll turn the cube around, and there's our pegs through their respective holes. Now, we got to add the legs, and then we'll add the mallet. So place. Now, I told you when you made the peg leg, you only had to make it one time. So when you click on peg leg, I'm not save the new version of the peg leg. Oh, there it is, peg leg 16. Okay. And you place it once, and then you need another one. Place it twice. That comes in very handy when you do the playground, like when you make the monkey bars. Instead of having to make 21 bars for the monkey bars, you make it once, and then you place it 21 times. Constrain. Now, this is going to be a little different. We're going to use two mates and what's called a flush. A flush is when you even things up. You'll see what that does here in just a second. So I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to take the inside cutout. You may have to zoom in here on it. Inside piece. And mate it to the side of the pegboard. Okay, click apply. I know it doesn't look right yet, but that's what you want. Apply. Now I want to make this front face and this front face even, so I'm going to flush it. Click on flush, and click the front face here and front face here, and now those faces are even. Notice you got a little bit of a gap right here, so we're going to fix that by mating. So switch back to mate. This top side, click on the bottom corner of the view cube, zoom up here and get the underside of this. So we'll mate those two together, hit apply, and there's our one leg hooked together there. Same thing on the other side, mate the inside cut out. Now you're probably going to have to rotate the cube around or you can see the side of the pegboard, and mate it to the side of the pegboard. Click apply to our home view here. Now we're going to flush the front edge of this and the front edge of this, make them even, and then mate the top side here to the underside of the peg leg and hit apply. So there is our pegboard. You should be able to see that our pegs fit just inside the legs there. Okay. Now, the only thing we need to add are the mallet head and the mallet handle. Here and find those. Mallet head, place it, place mallet handle, place it down here. Alright, we're going to go to mate, and we're going to insert this handle. So click on insert, which is the fourth option. We don't have to change any of this stuff. We're going to point here to the end of the mallet, the threaded end. We're going to point to the threaded hole right here. So let's click in there, hit apply, and there is your pegboard assembly. And when you have that completed, you are finished, and you will need to upload that to lesson 1.5.5.